What's going on, YouTube? So today's video is all about reducing food waste because the topic is muy importante, not only to our diets but also to the planet. Did you know that each year we waste about 20% of our meat, we throw away about 35% of our seafood, and about 45% of fruits and veggies? That is some serious food. Not only is this a waste of some gains, but it's also costing the average family of four about $2,000 per year. Imagine what you could do right now with $2,000. So to help that, here are my top 10 tips for reducing food waste. Tip number 1 is to plan ahead. Instead of showing up to the grocery store without a shopping list or a meal plan, check your fridge or pantry first. Find out what you need to buy for the week. And then just take a few minutes just to write down some foods or some meals that you want to eat that week. That way you'll only buy what you need. Tip number 2 is set your fridge temperature. Make sure that your fridge is set between 37 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. A temperature of 0 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 18 degrees Celsius is sufficient for your freezer to slow down most food deterioration. And keep in mind, if your fridge is way too full, then air won't be able to fully circulate around to all the compartments, which may reduce the life of some of the food in your fridge. And if your fridge doesn't have one, remember you can pick up a little fridge thermometer in most grocery stores. Tip number 3 is to let it cool down. After cooking a meal, let it cool down first to about room temperature before adding it to your storage container. Otherwise, foods like veggies can get really soggy, and upon reheating, it's not too desirable, and chances are you're going to end up throwing that food away. I know I'm guilty of that. Tip number 4 is use airtight containers. Clear, airtight containers are a great investment for storing food in the fridge, freezer, and the pantry. The clear containers allow you to see the food inside so you can easily monitor it. And remember to get different sizes of airtight containers to accommodate both large meals and small meals. And why is this important? Because remember, there's still going to be a little bit of oxygen trapped inside, which will affect the life value of the food. Tip number 5 is to know your food storage times. It is very important. Most cooked meats can last in the fridge for 3 to 5 days, while cooked fish can last for about 2 to 3 days. And food in the freezer can last for months. Check out the link below for a pretty cool infographic on food storage. You need it. It's major key. Tip number 6 is defrost in the fridge. If you have a frozen meal or food, then you're going to want to defrost it in the fridge the night before you are going to eat it. This will help you to reheat it properly. Oftentimes when you reheat food in the microwave, you end up overcooking it because of uneven defrosting. Some parts are hot and some parts are cold, so you have to keep on heating it up so that everything is warm. Trust me, I've thrown away a meal or two because of overcooking and defrosting in the microwave. Now I know I'm not alone. So again, defrost in the fridge and then reheat. Tip number 7 is to avoid unnecessary bulk buys. Now this can be tricky if you have a family. Many supermarkets will entice you by showing you an incredible deal where you'll save money if you buy in bulk, but more often than not, these bulk buys end up in the garbage. So choose wisely. Now let's keep it real for a second because you know we're family. Now if you've never eaten a food before, but your best friend or your personal trainer said it's really healthy, or you just saw this incredible diet miracle fat loss food on Dr. Oz and you want to go out and buy it in bulk, but you've never tasted it before, yeah, stuff like that don't do. Tip number 8 is to understand expiration dates. Now, use by, sell by, and best before are a manufacturer's best guess for when a food is at its best. These estimates are largely conservative, so keep that in mind because a food hasn't necessarily gone bad by the date that it's printed. So don't throw away that food too quickly. The takeaway here is that you want to use your best judgment. You don't want to throw away foods too quickly, but you also don't want to be eating something that's 5 years old either. I've had something in my pantry for 5 years. Just catch up. Tip number 9 is meal prep. You knew this one was going to be on the list. Now, if you've been following my Fit Men Cook philosophy, then you are cooking your meals in advance and you're making multiple servings, so you have already got some food prepared. Doing meal prep cuts down on the amount of ingredients that you purchase throughout the week, but also the overall time spent in the kitchen. Now you want to assess your meal prep strategy to make sure that you are only cooking what you're eating. If you're making 5 days worth, but you're only eating 3 days worth, then stop cooking so much food. I know I've personally been guilty of doing this. So assess that meal prep strategy and make sure that you aren't throwing away good healthy food at the end of the week. And tip number 10 is to make some back of the fridge or leftover recipes. Every week I'll go through my fridge and I'll round up all the leftover proteins and veggies that are about to go bad, and I get to cooking. I've made frittatas, I've made soups and stews, I've made stir fries, quiche, casserole, you name it, I've made it. These recipes are a great way to incorporate leftover items and to prevent further food waste. If you have the Fitman Cook app, you can use the search function to type in the ingredients that you do have for ideas of meals that you can make. Or you can use my website, fitmancook.com, or just go into the internet and type in your leftover ingredients and find healthy recipes so that you do not throw away good food. Those are just 10 tips, but I know there are tons of creative ways out there to reduce food waste. So, besides practicing good food management, I want you to do 2 things after watching this video. First, I want you to add your tip or your favorite tip from the video below in the comment section. And 2, I want you to share this video with at least one friend or family member. And of course, if you found this video helpful and you liked the video and you like the tips, then go ahead and hit that like button below with a Hadouken! Now until next time, thank y'all for watching. Keep it healthy, but never ever boring. Ooh!